That's 4 strikeouts in the last 2 innings for Hungate, and he's got 6 in the game. It's another good off-speed pitch. I don't know where that one missed, but it's 1-1.
Dang.
That was a good pitch. That was closer than the one earlier.
Thought he painted that one.
A nice off-speed pitch.
I'm surprised he got the benefit of the doubt on that one.
A 1-1 count as Hungate works from the windup, getting the sign from Christie, who sets up on the outside. The pitch misses, up and away, 2-1.
And that one's a little bit outside there.
Just a bit outside.
Nolan Haas waits on deck for the Cats if they can start a rally here. Here's a 2-1. This one chopped foul back toward the Bearcat dugout. I about said Brybuck dugout, but
now did
Bearcat
he?
dugout.
Now he's never mind. Rose popped. Okay, that's right. Rose popped up. Popped out.
2-2 count here to Lewis. This is the Abingdon team last year that went 22-5, lost in the state semifinals to the eventual champ Turner Ashby. 5-4. Just lost a nail biter as that one's fouled off the end of the bat toward the Abingdon dugout.
Do we know who else they lost? I know they lost to us once.
Yeah, they lost to us once. And other than that, I don't have anything else on that.
Interesting who else they
this
lost
series
to.
has been close over the last 2 years. 3 of the 5 games have came down to the final at bat. Abingdon has a 3-2 advantage in the last 5 games. They've played 5 times in the last 2 seasons as this one's fouled off.
Way to fight.
Oh, still 2-2 count to Lewis with Haas on deck.
What's the pitch count rule, Dylan? Is it 75?
I am not sure. We meant to talk to Coach. They did change that this year, the pitch count rule.
He has to be
It's a little
close to that.
It's pretty strict from what I've seen. As Hungate steps off the back of the mound there and readjusts. He's probably getting close to it. The ace pitcher for Abingdon works a 2-2 count and 2 outs, nobody on. A ground ball chopped hard toward Francisco at second. He collects, whips it across. In time, 4-3. And that is 8 up, 8 down in the last 3 frames. The Cats
He's mowing us down right now.
Unable to get any offense going as we'll go to a commercial break as we head to the top of the 7th. Cats trail 5-1 and Hungate rolling on the mound for the Falcons.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Follow Bearcat Radio on Twitter with the handle @VHS Bearcat Radio and on Facebook by searching Bearcat Radio for the upcoming broadcast schedule and shows on the flagship stream of Virginia High School Athletics.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. You're neutral to it, and you can hear it repeatedly without feeling anything. But when we introduce a new stimulus, save the food, we've achieved pulling a natural or inborn response from you. Save the food, because 40% of all food in the US never gets eaten. Save the food. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit SaveTheFood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the 7th inning here on Bearcat, or top of the 7th inning here on Bearcat Radio, as the Cats will go to the bullpen yet again to John Malumba, freshman for Virginia High. He'll take the mound, a right-hander for the Cats as they trail 5-1. Big spot for a freshman. He'll face 9-1-2. Francisco, Bars, and Hungate. First pitch missed, 1-0. So we've seen Dixon, Clifton, and now Malumba on the mound. Clifton went 1 inning, gave up a hit. Other than that, got through the inning quite quickly for the Cats. Actually, it's 1, 2, and 3 due up here for the Bearcats. As this is Bars at the plate. 2-0 count. This one misses outside as well, and it's 3-0 to the leadoff man.
You want to come in here and throw strikes. I mean, you don't want to walk the first guy that you face.
Ever.
What a spot for a freshman, though, as that one misses inside. Ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk as Malumba those 4 straight balls to start his outing. Not ideal, but it doesn't get any easier because now comes Cade Hungate. It's a freshman against a senior who's going to be playing at Florida State. So
there you go again. FSU Seminoles.
Who?
Runner at first, nobody out. Malumba, tall right-hander. Definitely, when I saw him on the football field last year, I thought he was a senior, but he was just an 8th grade. Or just a...
Hit him?
They said that hit him on the shoulder.
Show me the bruise, buddy.
Hungate was going to take off his equipment and jog down to first. They're saying it caught him on the elbow area as Rose walks the ball back out to Malumba. It's 2 hit batters in the ball game for Abingdon. Too many freebies, really, to be given a team. That's 4 walks and 2 hit batters to this point, plus
they have 5 runs on 6 hits.
And then, you add that to the mix. That's how you get a 5-1 lead as Thomas Francisco comes to the plate. He was hit by a pitch, reached on an error, and flew out to right in his 3 at-bats. This is a called strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1.
And in retrospect to that, Virginia High only has 1 hit, but 1 run on that as well.
Yeah.
Kevin Christie waits in the on-deck circle for the Falcons. Again, we're game 1 of the 2018 season. The 0-1 pitch lifted towards right. Base hit as Bobby Medley comes up, catches it on the bounce, and guns it to the plate. Ball hits and rolls to the plate, but not in time, as sliding in just ahead of the throw was Tanner Bars, and he scores the 6th run of the game for the Falcons, an RBI single for Francisco, and it's 6-1. Abingdon runners still at first and second and nobody out.
It's tough. It's a tough lineup to ask a freshman to come in and try to get out. But, he needs the experience. It's.
Yeah, that's really what the start of this year for the Cats is going to be. These young guys are going to have to put in a lot of time. And really every pitcher except for Griffith hasn't played a whole lot on the mound. Dixon only pitched 2 outings last year, and he got the start tonight.
And what you hope for these, this situation right here is going to pay dividends in the long run towards the end of the season.
He's a freshman, man. He's going to earn his stripes one way or another and get some innings and grow into a better pitcher as
this one bounces and goes past Rose, kicks off to the left up to third base line, and everybody will advance on the wild pitch from Malumba. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Not an ideal start for a varsity career, but when you're put in the fire here to start the year against a tough team like Abingdon, got to make the best of it. Runners second and third, a 1-0 count. This one misses outside. Rose digs it out of the left-handed batter's box, and it's 1-0.
Biggest thing for him right now, just throw some strikes. They're a good team. They're going to hit. They're going to put it in play. Just throw some strikes. Get some confidence.
And I think at a young age, you really get scared of them hitting the ball.
2-0 count. This one floats in. Off-speed pitch that time left Christie wondering what he saw. It's 2-1. Colin Matney, the designated hitter for the Falcons, waits on deck. Christie on the night is 2 for 3. He scored a run and drove in 2. This one's popped foul off the right side, bounces on the concrete walkway.
And that was a good pitch there. Not much he could do with that.
And the count back even at 2-2. As John Malumba came out to pitch this inning. He walked the leadoff man, hit a batter, and then gave up an RBI single. This one's fouled straight off the catcher's mask of Aaron Rose. He shakes it off behind the plate. Those definitely wake you up on a cool afternoon. Looks like Rose is all right as they get the ball back to Malumba. The count's still 2-2 to Christie. About like a hit whenever you're running up the middle. Rose usually doesn't taste the other end of too many big hits.
I was going to say, he'll be all right. He's our middle linebacker. He'll be okay.
So you're used to seeing Aaron every day in practice. What's he like as a player?
He's a great kid. Like I said, we asked a lot of him in football. Call the defense and get us all set up. Great kid. Hard worker.
We talked about comparisons between being the catcher in charge of everything where he was the linebacker. It's the 2-2 misses low. A good pitch by Malumba trying to get him to chase, but that'll fill the count back up. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Christie with nobody out. Runners at second and third for the Falcons.
I think the roles are very similar. Catcher and middle linebacker there.
This is a fastball, floats high, ball 4. Bases loaded for Abingdon.
He's just trying to place it there, and you can't do that. You got to throw it and trust your arm.
Here's my question, okay? He's a freshman. Let him get his stripes right now. How long do you stay with him? I mean, nobody out, bases loaded.
I think you got to ride him right now. I mean, he's got himself in the situation. You got to let him work out of it.
Corners in, double play depth in the middle as the first pitch is fouled down the left field line off the bat of Matney, and it's 0-1.
I mean, I think if a ball gets gapped here, you see somebody warming up a little more, but I don't think that, if anything, barring any crazy circumstance, that he gets pulled right now.
Right.
If you're just tuning in, 6-1, Abingdon leading here in the top of the seventh and threatening after scoring one run already this inning. They got bases loaded, nobody out. Malumba on the mound as this is a breaking pitch. Good one there, and it's 0-2.
They can chase something here.
Yeah, here, most favorable count of the inning so far for John. Let's see where they decide to go with it. Coach Belcher calls in the pitches from the dugout to Aaron. Now Aaron has relayed it to John. Looks like he's setting up outside as a pitch is on the way. This one hit hard towards left center. Jamie Lathrop on the run, comes over, makes the grab, tagging from second and third. They'll score one, and it's 7-1 Abingdon on a sacrifice fly to left center. They get the first out of the inning, but an RBI for Colin Matney extends the lead to 6 for the Abingdon Falcons.
Yeah, and that ball was hit deep. Great job by Jamie to come across the diamond there and make that play, though.
And he gets out here. I mean, hopefully that gives him a little bit of confidence.
And you got the double play depth right here. If you roll 2 right here, I think it's a big inning for John and his confidence.
Yes.
Runners on the corners.
And to be quite frank with you, man, like you can't discount it. I think you have to. I mean, he's not going to face another lineup like this all year long, and I mean you have to realize it's the first game of the year, and you have to let it all kind of play out on its own.
Well, I agree with you. Like I said, I think this will give him some confidence going into the rest of the season. And towards the end of the season, pays dividends for him.
Bryson Thomas at the plate. He puts down a bunt right in front of the mound. A perfect bunt, no play. As Rose had to cover the plate, Malumba didn't get up to the ball quick enough. And
I think Aaron Rose could have had a play there on his own.
Coach Daniels coming out to talk to the umpire. Don't know what he's talking about, but a run scores. As from third base, Francisco scored easily, and that makes it 8-1. I'm going to make a change here on the mound.
No.
No. I thought he was going to go to Michael Bradley. Bradley just running up. Maybe they're talking about that ball came off the bat weird on the bunt. Maybe he thought it hit the plate or something.
I thought that, but I'm not sure.
He didn't talk very long. Yeah. Now they're talking to the ump down in the field, in the middle infield.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it did, but I agree with you. I thought it did kind of, it just kind of stuck there.
It buckled a lot. Yeah. And I didn't know if it was the dead grass or what the issue was, but.
So you don't see a bunt RBI single very often. No. Usually you get one or the other. You don't get the all the way around. As the umps are still talking out near the left side of the pitcher's mound on the third base side. I think they're wanting to call the batter out.
Interference? Maybe.
Are they calling? I think they're calling. No, they're calling the.
Coach Francisco not happy about it as. They're actually calling the runner at second out. That is Christie they're calling out.
No, they're sending him back.
They're sending him back. They're going to
call. I think they're calling the runner who scored out.
Let's see. Coach Francisco hot about it as he's out talking to the home plate umpire looking for an explanation. So might wipe the run off here. It would be 8-1 Abingdon, but if they take the run, it just depends.
I'm not sure what they're calling here. I don't know if maybe they call if they call the guy first out, was he interfered with Rose?
Did the ball hit him as he was leaving the
batter,
or was he out of the batter's box when he laid down the bunt? Could be that as well. But it's kind of odd that the home plate umpire checked out into the field for it. That's Coach Francisco following the home plate umpire down the line on the third base side of home plate, still not happy about it. So they're going to call.
They're
took them a while there to
who
make
loves
that call.
To show examples. He's now in the batter's box explaining himself.
He's being patient with them.
So they're going to call. There's not been any explanation back to us. So there's 2 outs. So we're going to just say it was runner interference. There should be a runner at third.
Yeah, they wiped the run off the board then.
Yeah, wiped the
7-1. They have 9-1 up there now.
It should be 7-1.
Right. Look, they might have gave him a run, but it should be 7-1.
2 outs.
It should just be 7-1, and there should be 2 outs.
Yes, should be 2 outs now.
So sorry about that. Just a wild sequence here as